Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your curiosity, our research, and, a really intriguing stack of sources to unlock some fascinating insights.
Yeah, fascinating is definitely the word for today.
Today, we're plunging into this truly extraordinary collection of material. It's all centered around the claims of a Russian cosmonaut.
And you've brought some pretty incredible stuff here. Claims about, hidden footage, cosmic events.
And even direct contact with extraterrestrial life. It's quite a claim.
Absolutely.
So our mission for this deep dive is, well, to unpack these sources, really explore the cosmonaut's narrative, which is compelling, no doubt.
Yeah, try and understand what he claims is actually happening beyond, our usual view of things.
Exactly. We'll be looking at alleged footage from space, digging into the whole mystery of crop circles.
And examining this cosmic event he talks about that could potentially impact our sun.
It's quite a journey into the unknown we're embarking on.
Definitely.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Where do we start?
Well, we begin with what the source describes as unbelievable footage of outer space.
Right.
This Russian cosmonaut, he claims he has real black and white uncolored footage, the real deal, he calls it.
Okay.
And it supposedly shows UFOs that he asserts NASA is deliberately hiding from the public. What exactly is this footage supposed to be?
Well, what's really striking here is the specific context he gives for it. It's described as infrared video, right? From the STS-SD63 mission.
Okay, SCS-SD63.
And he claims that during this mission, over 100 objects just appeared and then disappeared from radar screens, all while they were trying to locate the Mir space station.
100. That's a lot.
It is. And what's more, the cosmonaut asserts these were the same type of balls of light, these luminous orbs, that he personally saw near the asteroid belt.
Between Mars and Jupiter.
That's right. And from his perspective, these weren't just random lights. He claims they were creating an intelligent formation.
An intelligent formation. So his core idea here is that these aren't just anomalies.
No, he claims they're definitive proof. Proof of intelligent, hidden, extraterrestrial activity.
So it's a direct assertion then. We are never alone, and this proof is being kept secret.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the core of that claim.
But his claims about contact, they go even further than just seeing these orbs in space, right?
Yeah.
He talks about direct interactions here on Earth.
Indeed. Yeah, he details claims that during powerful storms, over 200 objects appear up in the sky.
200 during storms.
Yeah. And he says they're charging from the released energy from the thunderbolts, like drawing power from the lightning.
Charging. How?
He claims they're using something he calls orgone energy for their propulsion systems.
Orgone energy. That's Wilhelm Reich's concept, isn't it? Kind of controversial.
Exactly. It's this idea of a universal life force. And the cosmonaut claims this whole energy interaction led directly to contact with actual extraterrestrial races.
Okay, here's where it gets really compelling for me.
Mm-hmm.
He claims these contacts weren't all the same.
Right.
He talks about encounters that were, quote, positive and beautiful,
Wow.
suggesting, maybe cooperation or something enlightening,
But also,
but also extremely aggressive.
Hmm.
He even specifically mentions conflict with the Gray Collective.
the Greys, a common theme in ufology.
Right, so he's asserting there's a presence from, well, both polarities, as he puts it. Both positive and negative forces actively engaging with us.
A complex picture, definitely not just friendly visitors.
Not at all. Now, beyond these storm-related encounters, he also shares his work decoding crop circles.
Right, the crop circles.
And he claims this also led to further contact, this time with the actual crop circle makers. How does he link these things together? UFOs, storms, crop circles.
Well, he connects them by claiming that these crop circles deliver information about technological achievements from these same entities.
So the circles are like messages.
That's his take. And he brings back the balls of light idea, the orbs, says they're everywhere and they can penetrate our dimension using microwave or electromagnetic energy.
Penetrate our dimension.
Yeah. So from his viewpoint, it's all connected. These aren't isolated things. He even states that more than 20,000 of these diagrams have been delivered worldwide over the last few decades.
20,000. That's a staggering number. But, okay, the obvious question, how does he tell the difference between what he considers genuine crop circles and the ones we know are just people with boards and ropes?
Which are very common, yeah.
Does he offer any, verifiable distinction?
He does, actually. This is a really crucial point in his narrative. He references research by a Dr. Elto Kazanov.
Sorry.
And this research apparently found distinct physical markers in what they call genuine circles. He claims these show thermal expansion and node lengthening.
Node lengthening. What's that?
It means the plant stem, like wheat or barley, is bent, maybe up to 90 degrees, but it's not broken. It's still alive and growing.
Okay.
And he says the strongest effect, this lengthening, is right in the center, and it gets weaker towards the edges.
Like radiation.
Exactly. He claims it matches the electromagnetic radiation pattern of a point source. And there's more.
Oh.
He asserts that genuine circles contain these tiny, pure iron spheres, about 10 to 40 microns in diameter.
Pure iron spheres, microscopic ones.
Yeah. And these are supposedly completely absent in the man-made formations. He specifically contrasts this with, I think he mentions Team Satan in New Zealand,
Okay.
saying their work just shows footprints and, destroyed, broken crops, not bent, living ones with iron spheres.
So the core insight here for him is that these specific botanical and material clues are like empirical proof.
In his view, yes. Proof that some crop circles are undeniably not made by humans.
Okay, so if we accept that premise for a moment, that some are genuine with these weird characteristics, what's the point? What does he claim is the reason for these formations, the message?
Well, according to the Cosmonaut, the extraterrestrials are making these crop circles to inform humanity.
Inform us about what?
Because, he claims, our governments are deceiving us about the real situation of the planet, the galaxy, even our own potential as humans.
So it's like a bypass, straight to the public.
Kind. He says these makers come from many dimensions and actually use the circles as portals.
Portals.
Oh.
For travel.
Or communication, maybe both. And get this, he claims the military is highly, highly interested in these messages.
Interested how? Trying to decode them.
More like trying to stop them, according to him. He says they pick up the balls of light, the orbs making the circles on radar, and scramble jets or helicopters to intercept them.
To intercept them? Why?
To, in his words, avoid eventual delivery of information, which is very, very vital for humanity.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a cover-up extending to actively blocking messages.
That's the picture he paints.
And it fits with his other point, right? He dismisses the idea that governments make these with lasers or HARP.
Yeah. He asks, why would the military chase its own stuff? It doesn't make sense if they were creating them.
And he also accuses media outlets like Discovery Channel, National Geographic,
yeah,
of completely burying the phenomenon, making everyone just laugh it off as man-made hoaxes.
So, yeah, very elaborate narrative of deliberate suppression and deception.
It certainly is. Okay, so moving on from Earth. Because if these claims weren't cosmic enough,
yeah, where do we go from here?
the cosmonaut also discusses something far beyond Earth's atmosphere, a truly galactic scale phenomenon. He talks about an extreme magnetism stream coming from the Milky Way headed to Earth.
Right, an extreme magnetism stream. And what's particularly intriguing here is the perspective he claims to have received.
From the ETs again.
Apparently, including information about our galaxy itself. He states the Milky Way actually has 7 spiral arms.
7? I thought we knew it had fewer, like maybe 4 major ones.
Well, that's the standard model, but he claims we can't see all 7 because we're looking at it from an angle from within.
Okay. And he also mentions a symbol, an eye.
Yeah, or, as the source puts it, an OC guy, which sounds like eye, maybe? Seen everywhere in space. He's quick to clarify it's not, like, good or bad.
Just energy.
Just energy, he says. And he connects this to ancient Sanskrit writings, mentioning a German professor, Kurt Schulman,
Okay.
who apparently translated these writings as, the Son of the Creator comes.
The Son of the Creator comes. Heavy stuff. So what does this cosmic eye represent then in relation to this magnetism stream?
According to the Cosmonaut, it signifies a gate or maybe a hole near Sagittarius A.
The supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way?
Exactly. He describes this whole thing as related to an explosion at the galactic core. When these happen, he says, you get a cosmic jet shooting out perpendicular to the galaxy.
Right, we've observed those in other galaxies.
But also, crucially, a wave of energy spreading out along the galactic plane. He uses the analogy of throwing a rock in a pond, the ripples spreading out.
Okay, I can picture that.
And the core message he says he got from the ETs about this wave is, well, pretty direct and urgent. Watch out that there is a wave.
Just watch out.
Yeah.
And this wave, these ripples, they have direct implications for us, for our solar system.
Yes. He states this energy wave is massive, and it's flying fast, heading right towards our sun.
Towards our sun, what's the alleged impact?
He claims its impact will fundamentally change how the sun burns its fuel. basically knock it off its current main sequence phase.
Which is our stable yellow dwarf phase now.
Right, and push it into what astronomers call a red giant phase. Its outer layer gets cooler, more reddish, and expands massively.
Whoa. So not just a solar flare, but a fundamental change in the sun's state, based on his sources.
A profound transformation of our star's very nature. That's the claim.
Okay, this naturally leads us to timing. Did he give a time frame for these dramatic changes? He mentions December 23rd, 2012.
Yes, 2012, that date is a key part of his timeline. He ties it back to another crop circle.
Another one.
Yeah, one that appeared on July 15th, 2008. He calls it a Ptolemaic crop circle.
Ptolemaic, like the ancient model of the solar system with Earth at the center.
That seems to be the implication, yeah. He claims it accurately depicted our solar system planets, a moon, Saturn's rings, all with the crops undamaged, fitting his genuine criteria.
Okay.
And then just a few days later, July 22nd, 2008, there was an update to this circle, and he describes that as a Rosetta Stone.
A Rosetta Stone, meaning it held the key.
Exactly. A key or a cipher for decoding the messages about these big events he was predicting for 2012 and 2013.
So connecting the dots between the crop circles, the galactic wave, and that specific date, what specific physical changes did he claim actually happened around then, linked to this wave hitting the sun?
Well, the Cosmonaut states that around that time our sun did become bigger, that Mercury swollen, Venus also swollen.
Swollen, like expanded.
Apparently, leaving Earth and Mars dangerously close, in his words. He also claims a new object appeared very close to our solar system.
A new object, like Planet X or Diru.
He doesn't use those specific terms here, but describes it approaching from the Virgo constellation and says it was observable around December 13th, 2012, during a new moon.
Okay, so observable changes in planets and a new object. Pretty dramatic claims about our immediate cosmic neighborhood.
Extremely dramatic, yeah.
And the source also details various symbols connected to all this, almost like a cosmic roadmap.
Yeah, it mentions a few, a depiction of the Milky Way showing the galactic plane, a cosmic snake or Kundalini symbol, a snail spiral.
A snail spiral.
Also a new moon symbol, and 2 stars in something called the Kiko constellation, which seems specific to his narrative appearing close to the sun. Lots of symbolic elements woven in.
Wow. What a journey we've taken today, diving into these really extraordinary claims from this Russian cosmonaut.
It's definitely been a deep dive.
From, unseen UFO footage and these assertions of direct ET contact.
To the whole complex story around crop circles and their alleged messages.
And finishing with this idea of a galactic wave poised to transform our own sun. It's information that he claims has been deliberately kept from humanity.
Yeah, this whole discussion really highlights a remarkable, maybe unsettling narrative of hidden truths and, well, an impending cosmic shift, if you follow his line of thinking.
It certainly invites you, the listener, to consider the broader implications. What if any of this is true? What does it mean for our reality, our place in the galaxy?
And the potential for life and different kinds of interaction beyond what we currently understand or accept.
As you reflect on all this, maybe consider the motivations. Why would someone make these claims? Why would information, if real, be hidden? Think about the power of information itself.
Whether it comes through official channels or, like this, through really unconventional means.
What stands out to you most from this, well, extraordinary deep dive into the unknown? And maybe, just maybe, how might claims like these, even if unproven, reshape how we think about humanity's place in the vastness of the cosmos?